Hello everyone, this is a journal with me. This is number 2. I'm doing a spread here for March 28th, I believe it is. I just went through my little scrap box and pulled out a couple of things. This is my other scrap box, but this is meant to be my travel one, but I just haven't sorted anything out. I've got one of those journey cards there, and this is like a in the card directory thing for like numbers and stuff. I decided I'm going to pull out a bit of that paper because it sort of also feels like a dictionary paper, which is the other piece of paper I've got there. Now that bit of white paper there I come back to later, but it's from a Frankie magazine. I'm just going to tear these guys here up and just sort of just glue them on, you know? I decided to add that there. I think that's from a Frankie magazine as well, and that blue strip there is a bit of scrapbook paper on some yellow cardstock. Now that journey card, I believe I've got it from a Kaisercraft ephemera kit. Again, same deal with the ephemera kits. I don't use a lot of those type of ephemeras. I tend to get ephemera kits for like 1 or 2 specific items, so I have a lot of ephemera that literally is going to waste because I don't use it. So I've got to start using them up, and if that means I have to glue all over them and put what I want to put on them, then that's that. I just tear off the excess. I think I come back a bit later and use some scissors. And now I decide to add that. These two things. Now this bit was coming up, so I decided I'm going to glue it back down. I'm re-gluing my scraps. That's what I'm doing right there, and I'm going to use that as a border on the side there. I quite like that. Gives it a bit of texture as well. And then I've raced off to grab something, which is my scissors. Good job. And there we go. Made it nice and neat. There we go. And now I cut off the little edges. Very good. Look at that. And then I glue down that bad boy right there, just like that. And now I go back to grab something else. Oh, a bit of paper towel to wipe up some of the glue off the table. Now I come back to this white piece of paper. I sort of want to have it lined up behind it, but it's a bit too big for the page. So I grab my bright pink paper trimmer. I think that's what I go grab. It'll take a very long time to grab it. Oh, that's right, I'm grabbing some paints, gesso, and my lid of my egg carton tray. So the paint that I have there, that's a Kaisercraft colour, and it is in the colour of sage. Now there's my head. Now this paper trimmer ended up really annoying me because you watch here, it didn't cut it. It sort of got jammed halfway through, and then it does it again. So I get frustrated and cut it, and then I think it happens again. It happened twice to me. So I end up just throwing it on the ground, not actually throwing it, but putting it on the ground because I'm not dealing with it. And here we go, it got jammed there, I'm not sure why. Yeah. I try to figure out why it's doing it, but I just give up. And I go back to the trusty old scissors. Alrighty, now I'm gonna mix some gesso, which my container's a mess, I need to clean it up. With the sage colour to get like a lighter colour of the sage, as well as being able to have enough grip on the paper still to write it. Even though the acrylic paint wouldn't have done that, I wanted to make sure. And you know, I sort of feel like gesso helps thin out the actual colour, so it allows you to sort of see through things a bit better, like you see behind what's originally on the piece of paper. I'm just going to dab it off to get rid of the thicker parts, and there we go. Look at that. And then I decided just to use my work area as a brush cleaner. My work area is just a bit of cardboard, so I don't mind doing that. If you ever want to clean off your desk easy, just use a hairdryer, because I literally get rid of everything. Everything just flies off quite easily. I go back to my journal, and I'm going to glue this down sort of like that, but I think I end up flipping the journey card over again. Now I'm sitting here playing with this paint tube, and it is half open, and I just squirted paint all over myself, so that's good. Not much, just a little bit. more than I need to. Anyways, so I've glued that down, and I use the glue lid as like a nice surface to help flatten things down. And then yeah, I think I glue it upside down. Not that it matters, but yeah. But I quite like that. Now, what I'm trying to figure out here is I wanna get the yellowish color from the yellow pages onto the second page somehow. So I'm gonna mix a yellow color, which is Anita's all-purpose acrylic craft paint, and it's in the color of antique gold. So I mix it with some sage, but then it's too dark, so I mix a bit of gesso because I don't have any white either. And I get pretty close enough for me. And I do a couple of swatches, but I decide that I don't want to just paint it on there. So I'm going to go and use that good old stencil that I used in the last spread, which I keep using in every spread that I have, almost. And I'm just gonna add it there, just in random spots. I don't want to overwhelm the page with that color, because I think if it was too much, it would be quite an ugly color. You know, just to stare at. So I just want a little bit of it. I then clean up my work area, and then for some reason I touched the paint. I don't know why I touched fresh paint on my page, but that's something I just undid. Alright, so I've gone back through my scrap box for something. What have I got? Oh, that's right, I've got this. I'm not sure where this bit of paper came from, but it has this like hex grid sort of, on a hex grid, just like a square grid diagonal pattern on it. I quite like. And then this one here is a bit of scrapbook paper that I have, and it's a scrap from that. And this one here, the second piece, I don't end up using. I chuck it back because it doesn't fit in. That second grid piece is a bit of scrapbook paper that I've got. I think it was like a 50-cent like single piece. And then I used this piece here from a Frankie magazine. It's actually a cut off from the last spread, I think, actually. And I end up gluing it roughly in that arrangement. I think I've gone off for a tip-in. I think that's what I've gone to go find. Yes, a tip-in and a photo is what I've gone to go find. I have a bunch of photos that I haven't used yet, so I'm trying to use them, like, regardless if they make sense to the spread. I'm trying to use them. Not that my spreads have much of a story in them anyways. They're not typically themed or anything. I just tend to find things I like the look of, put them together, and hope they turn out well. I went and picked up a sort of greenish, yellow greenish washi tape to sort of help bring that colour over as well. It's definitely more yellow than green, but that's fine. That image on that there, it's just a bit of ephemera that I glued an image over top of that I wasn't going to use, like a bit of ephemera I wasn't going to use, glued an image over it. That's from a Frankie magazine. It's got the gnomes on there, the 7 dwarfs, sorry, on there, which I quite like. I think it's a nice little image. And yeah, that makes my tip-in, because I like having a tip-in. Now, this here is a bit of again, a bit of ephemera I'm not going to use in any other sense. I thought I'd make use of it, and I'm gonna use it to actually put the photo on. But I also want to use it as like a tab, so I can flip open the tip-in, and then I glue that photo down there, because that's where I want the photo, apparently. Now I think we're coming up near the end. I think I trimmed that photo up a little bit. There we go. Yeah. And then we decide that we're gonna glue the rest down. So that's that blue diagonal grid. That bit from a Frankie magazine with the leaves and stuff on it. It's the same one from the last spread. And this is just a scrap of paper that I've got somewhere still. I think I've still got like a whole sheet of it still. But I just wanted to use like a thin stripe. Now I've got to go grab some stamp, my stays on, and my date stamp, as well as a very large stamping block. I have got a smaller one, I just don't know where it is. This stamp set I'm using right now is also from Crazy Craft. I just don't know what its collection is called. But anyways, I'm just did a test stamp there, and here we go. There we go, look at that. That actually turned out really well. I was quite happy with that stamping. I don't normally immediately clean off my stamps, but I think because I was recording, I felt the need to immediately clean off that stamp. And then I'm gonna do some dating, but I noticed that it's sort of on the edge, it captures the edge of the date stamp. So I wiped that clear before stamping. And that is that spread done. I'm going to show up a close-up view now, and then I'll show you some photos, but that's it. Thanks for watching.